question has always been power.
Yes.
And for, like you all, the question has been morals. You know, I never wanted to be the most moral person in the world.
I agree, I know.
I would sell my soul, you know what I mean? What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? The world. You know what I mean? The world, that's what it means.
I know.
So you take the soul, you know. Let me just sing that spiritual. Take the world, but give me Jesus.
Yes,
Y'all can have Jesus. Give me the world. You know, even though it's losing 25% of its energy every 100 years or something ridiculous.
Oh, please, don't believe don't believe everything you hear.
No, but I'm saying that's not my concern, you know?
I know.
Even though it's polluted, ugly, dirty, give it to me.
Speaking,
or I will take it. Or not.
But speaking, I agree with you. But speaking for myself, but also speaking as a representative of my generation. But it's probably safer to speak only for myself, really. You know. I know that in my own case, what I felt and still feel, perhaps in a different way, but what I felt very strongly in the years, for example, when I was, when we all were marching down those dusty highways with Martin. Look, I left the church when I was 17 years old, you know, and I've really been to a church since, except, you know, when I had to go for various fundraising rallies or this or that. And I was not exactly the kind of Christian that Martin was, if I could be described as Christian at all.
It's hard to be the kind of Christian he was.
But I liked him. I loved him, in fact. And I knew that something was happening through him. And my concern was, yes, the world. But I'd seen what white people had done to the world. And I'd seen what white people had done to their children. You know, because in gaining the world, they had lost something.
A lot.
No, they'd lost the ability to love their own children.
Or the ability to love themselves.
Which is the same thing, you know. And I didn't want that to happen, if I may say so, to you. It was not a matter of morals so much as a matter of being forced, in my own case, to keep suggesting that though it was indeed, you know, a matter of power without, the word morals is misleading. Power without some sense of oneself is simply another kind of sterility. And that black people would then become exactly what white people have become. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a danger.
You know, I also accept this, that danger is not up to me to tell anybody how to run. You know, I can only speak as what I am. I'm a kind of poet. And if I'm a kind of poet, then I'm responsible, from my own point of view, to the people who produced me and the people who will come after me. You know, so that when the Holocaust comes, and it will come, you know, eventually, no matter how simple black and white terms may be today, life is not that simple. And sooner or later, if I do my work as I should do it, when I'm needed, I'll be there. You know what I mean?
I don't know if the people listening, I know what you mean. Because I think the most important thing for any of us is when what comes, or when what we know will come comes, that we have the strength to say, yeah, it came.
That's right, it came.
You know,
it came.
And I'm going to stay in my apartment on 94th and you'll be in Nice. So we'll say, yeah.
And we'll also be able to ride out the storm, but what is more important is not so much the riding out of the storm for you, Nikki, and me, Jimmy. You know. But in my mind's eye, there's always that kid. He's going to be here when you're gone. You know, and when I'm long gone. And from my point of view, it is about the children. It is about the children. We have to give the children something, which in a way was after all given to us, though we had to learn how to translate it. Because your kid will be moving in a very different world than the one in which I grew up, which you won't know anything about at all, or the world in which you grew up, which will be remote for him, and yet he comes out of it and has got to carry it much further than you or I will be able to carry it.
He's got to have respect for it, but not be trapped by it.
Precisely. You have to give it to him and liberate him from it. You know.
And I think that kind of thing has been lacking. Like, I think one of the nicest things that we created almost as a generation, and it wasn't us because Martin Delaney and those people were way before us, but just the fact that we could say, hey, I don't like white people.
It's a great liberation.
It was a beginning of course, being able to like them.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Which of course it upsets them, but that's their problem.
Yeah, but their problem really is a kind of. We were talking earlier before the show began about the kind of incomprehension in somebody's face. You trying to describe what is to you a very simple situation.
Right.
You know, like people don't like going to jail, and you see the man's face, and he looks astonished. What? People don't like going to jail, and then you pull back.
You mean so?
You know, does that really go on? And you live with this all your life. And what you watch is that he knows it, really. He doesn't think that you know it. He doesn't think anybody will tell him. And if it comes in, as we were saying earlier, if he allows that to enter into his guts, he's a very different person. He may explode. He doesn't know what will happen if he allows this apprehension of someone else's experience to enter into him.
Right. Because he's perpetuating his experience.
And this is the crisis of the age. This is what Malcolm really meant when he said that white is a state of mind.
Okay.
You know.
On a certain level, because I tend to be parochial. Occasionally, a black face goes with a white mind. Mm-hmm. Very seldom a white face will have a black mind. But we find the frequent situation is a white face has a white mind.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? So for the few mistakes that you would make, it's unfortunate.
No, I know.
You know,
I wouldn't,
to me, it's unfortunate.
I wouldn't argue that at all. No, I wouldn't argue that at all. No, it doesn't make any difference to me. As I said once somewhere, you know, a cop is a cop.
Well, cops are white.
And you know, and he may be a very nice man. I haven't got time to figure that out. You know, all I know is he's got a uniform and a gun. You know, I have to relate to him that way. You know, that's the only way to relate to him at all. Because one of us may have to die.
One of us, you know, in New York, there's a big campaign going on to humanize the policemen, and they have billboards upstate, and they have a picture of a big cop bending over this little blonde girl. Mm-hmm. And the sign say, and some people call him Pig. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to buy a billboard. I told a friend of mine, I want to buy a billboard and show this big cop and this 14-year-old kid with 30 bullets in him, and saying some people call him Peacemaker. You know?
You have to do one thing. One thing Lorraine Hansberry said. Get this photograph. When we had that famous meeting with Bobby Kennedy, Lorraine said to Bobby, who was also dead, Lorraine said to Bobby, and answered something about black manhood. Jerome Smith had been talking about black men. And Lorraine said she wasn't worried about black men because they'd done very well, all things considered. She was very proud of them. But she told Bobby, she said, I'm very upset about the state of that civilization which produced that photograph of that white cop in Birmingham standing on that black woman's neck.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. What does that say for white manhood? But again, that's a moral position.
Well,
you follow what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
That means that we're on top of the situation by being on bottom. And many of us would like to see it the other way.
I'm not quite that romantic, or even if you want to use the word moral, quite that moral. I simply know, I think I know. You know. Look, I'm not a financier. You know, I'm not a banker. I'm not a practical man, so to speak. care what happens to you. You know. And if I am moral, which I don't really think I am, but no, it's a word you keep bringing up.
I can't find another word for it.
I know. But the relationship between morality and power is a very subtle one. You know, because power, ultimately, with no morality, is not any longer power. You cannot call Spain a powerful nation. You can't call Franco a powerful